Happy fall, everyone. I'm Madelaine Lane, a partner and co-chair of the White Collar Criminal Defense and Internal Investigations Practice Group here at Warner Norcross and Judd. And in my day-to-day job, I assist individuals and businesses to help them stay on the right side of the law.
And I'm Tessa Mallett. I'm a litigation associate who works with Madelaine on a frequent basis.
Well, Tessa, it's fall. Sweaters, pumpkin spice lattes, and football. And where there's football, there's tailgating. So we're going to talk today about some of the questions we typically get about how to keep tailgating fun and make sure that no one gets arrested.
Right, Madelaine. And so when there's tailgating, there's usually alcohol. Can you tell me a little bit about what happens when someone under the age of 21 is caught with alcohol?
Absolutely. So in the state of Michigan, it is illegal for anyone under the age of 21 to consume alcohol. And in 2018, the state of Michigan changed the law. So the first time a minor, so someone under the age of 21, is caught with alcohol, it's now a civil infraction, the equivalent of a parking ticket. So the good news is that that individual is not going to find that civil infraction on their criminal record. So if someone runs a criminal check on them, it's not going to pull up. However, it will show up if you do a court search for the person's name, and it will show up on their driver's license. Additionally, the second, or hopefully not third, fourth time that you get caught, they will in fact be criminal convictions. So that will be on your criminal record, and perhaps most problematic for younger people is that it's going to impact your driver's license, and you're likely going to have some sort of suspension, so you won't be able to drive for a certain period of time.
Well, what if I'm over the age of 21 and hosting an event and someone under the age of 21 consumes alcohol? Could I be responsible for that?
You could, and so this comes up especially in a tailgating circumstance where there's a lot of people you don't know that might be stopping by your truck or your tailgating party. In the state of Michigan, if you knowingly sell or just furnish, so just give someone alcohol who is under the age of 21, it's a misdemeanor offense, so it's a crime. And it's not just knowingly. You can't stick your head in the sand. The state of Michigan says that you need to make a good faith effort to determine whether or not the person is a minor. So in other words, ask them for their ID.
Well, let's talk about what happens after the game or when I'm going home from a tailgating party. What if I get pulled over for operating while intoxicated, or what's commonly known as a DUI? Do I have to take a breathalyzer test?
That's a great question, Tessa. And the first thing is to remember there are two different types of tests associated with a potential arrest for a DUI. The first is called the preliminary breath test, and that is the breath test, the blow test that you will see on the scene of the arrest. So that's the one that the law enforcement officer is going to give you while you're standing on the street outside of your car. If you refuse to take that test, which is your absolute right to do, it is once again just a civil infraction, so the equivalent of a parking ticket, and it will come with a fine. The second test that you're going to be offered as an arrestee of a potential DUI is called the chemical breath test, and that is administered at the jail. So now we're past the scene of the crime, we're actually at jail, and they're asking you to blow into the Data Master test machine. If you refuse to take that test, two things will happen. The first, law enforcement is going to apply for a search warrant to draw your blood to measure your blood alcohol content. So in other words, they're likely to get the same information anyway. And second, you will now be in violation of what's called Michigan's implied consent law. So by getting a driver's license and driving on a street in Michigan, you have consented implicitly that you will agree to take this test. So if you refuse that second Data Master breath test, then you will automatically lose your license. It will be suspended for a year in addition to fines. So while it is absolutely your right, and everyone's individual circumstances will inform that decision they should make with their lawyer, at the same time, it's important to keep in mind the potential ramifications of those two decisions.
Well, then I'll definitely be calling an Uber. Well, that's all the questions that we have for today, but please be on the lookout for videos this winter.
And thank you again for watching. If you have any questions about the topics we discussed today or anything else that you want to ask your lawyer, please give us a call at Warner, Norcross, and Judd. And of course, happy fall.